Then listen, and do not look away, for the trail of Timothy Caldwell does not vanish in the thin air, without leaving a scent in the minds of those who dare to see. And in the months after his disappearance, whispers curled to Missouri's taverns and India's ports alike, because a missionary returning from Calcutta swore that in the crowded alleys of Varanasi, he saw foreign boys sitting cross-legged beside the ghats, heads shaven, eyes closed, lips moving with the same Sanskrit verses. The priest used a chant for the dead, and when the missionary stepped closer, the boy opened his eyes and smiled, not with the warmth of welcome, but with the recognition of a predator who already knows your name. And he spoke, not in English, but in the missionary's own childhood dialect from rural Kentucky, a dialect the boy could never have heard in India unless he had stood in the missionary's hometown, which he had. For the missionary swore the boy was Timothy, though Timothy would have had to cross oceans, evade every record, and shed his American clothes with saffron on a novice without the help of any human escort. Tell me, Hindu, do you believe in coincidence still? Or do you hear in this the drumbeat of something older, the same drumbeat that marched your saints into caves for lifetimes at a time? And if your land is a cradle of such beings, why is it that the first time one appears in the West, it is the West that writes him down, studies him, claims him, while you wait for validation from the same science that could not explain him? Do you not remember how the British dismissed your Ayurveda as superstition until their own surgeons stole the techniques of cataract surgery from your Sishita? Will you wait for them to dissect Timothy's pulse before you remember the pranayama your grandfathers abandoned? For in America they called him a medical wonder. In Europe they called him a mystery. But in India they might have called him a rebirth, a Jivan Mukta, or a curse unbound, depending on what the courage to name him. Yet courage is a rare metal in an age where even the devout kneel more to the microscope than to Murthy. And so the case of Timothy Caldwell slid into dusty archives, spoken of only in hushed tones, while somewhere, perhaps in the Himalayas or the far reaches of Burma, a boy grew into a man who remembered too much and spoke too little. Hindu, do you not fear that your own history will fade the same way, kept alive only in 4 museums, while your living threads are lost in the wind? And if Timothy walked back into your life today, barefoot on your temple steps, reciting verses your priests have forgotten, would you bow to him as a guru, or hand him over to the police for questioning? Would you recognize the mirror he holds up to your civilization, or would you shatter it because it shows you what you no longer are? For history is not gentle. It does not knock. It breaks the door. It pours in. It demands that you answer. And one day, when the next Timothy appears, whether in Missouri, in Mumbai, or in a forgotten village where the Ganga bends, you will have to decide whether you are ready to see him for what he is, or whether you will blink and lose him to the world again.